Hi everybody,
Hello.
and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos. And today we are going to be doing a little patchwork quilting instruction.
Yeah, and we're doing the crazy quilt.
Yes, so we need to rewind a little bit, Arne, before we go forward. We did a little show and tell a while back where we showed some of our quilts and some of the ideas that we have, and the response has been overwhelming, incredible, and it looks like we're getting a lot of new subscribers that come from the quilting world.
Yeah.
So that was actually something that we weren't quite expecting. We didn't understand at the time how big this all is, but now that we showed you a few of our quilts, I think it's about time that we also show you how we do something so that you can get a little bit more inspiration. Well, last time it was all about inspiration. This time we will show you a little bit more how it works.
And I'm not sure if we do it by the book, but we do it. It works. We do
Yeah,
it
that's
our
the
way.
thing. That's the thing. We never actually learned quilting by the book, but we both know how to sew. We've been sewing for many years. In fact, we started our career as fashion designers sewing. So sewing is something we love. We have always had all these fabrics, and we always collect fabrics, and we always have leftovers that we like using.
And it's really hard to throw away a nice fabric, so
Yeah,
we keep it.
we keep
and
them.
Maybe we can use it one day.
Yeah. So maybe our way of doing it is very unconventional and maybe not by the book, but
Or maybe it is. We
maybe
don't
it
know.
is. But the end result is what counts.
Yeah. So let's start. First, we are working with squares because we don't work on the whole piece. We think it's easier to do one square at a time, and then we sew them together, like on the quilt
That
here,
we showed in
that we
the
showed.
video.
So it's all made of squares. So this is the one in white. Today I think there will be a lot of pink or reddish, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Pinkish.
And we're actually going to be doing one square for you to see. So one of these squares is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing it randomly with things that we find here, and it's going to be very exciting to see the end result.
How it comes out.
I think that most of these squares have been done in a random way. There's no rules,
no
there's
plan.
no
We just
plan.
added like whites.
Yeah. So the one we're going to be doing today is going to be kind of the same. There's not going to be any plan, and hopefully it will turn out just as nice as these.
If not, you will see how we do it. So first we start with the toile, the cotton.
Muslin.
Yeah, the cotton fabric.
Yeah, and we don't use any particular kind. This is a very cheap one that is mass produced. It's 100% cotton, which is what we like, but it's not anything particular. It's quite okay.
Or you can use like this is like a kitchen thing. I don't know. Is it like
A tablecloth.
or a curtain or a tablecloth? This is something we found in a thrift store, and you know the embroidery part is nice, the hem is nice, but then you can also use the fabric in the middle and use that as a square. So it doesn't matter what you use as a square if it's more or less the same thickness. It's fine.
Yeah.
So let me have the toile.
Yes.
So we do like for this one we do like 30 and 30 centimeters.
So the measurement of the square is 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. We're from Europe and we do everything in metric in our country. If you want to know how much 30 centimeters is in inches, you'll have to find it on Google somewhere on the internet.
Or do the size you like. It can be bigger and smaller. And on this one there is coffee, so it's nice to cover it up. See, that's what happened in our studio. There's like coffee cup mugs everywhere. So 30 and 30. The good thing with this toile is that you can just tear it because it's a basket weave, I think it's called, like just over and under.
Yeah.
So it's easy. So
we've
you
got
can iron that
a
one.
little square, 30 by 30. And today we've got two stations. Usually we sit next to each other, but because of all the stuff on the table, there was no room for me there. So I'll be doing all the finishing of the fabrics, and
So I will make you work.
yeah, and when sewing is concerned, it's always about the finishing, the ironing, the steaming.
And I found this piece of, I think it's wool or something, and what you call the silver? Is it, what's that called in English? The
Lurex yarn?
Lurex,
Yeah.
maybe. It's for, I think people use this for coats or suits.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
It's for suiting and coats. Yeah.
So, and since if we do like this crazy quilt and this is a square, I just cut it up like in the middle just to make a different shape, because we're not doing the log style. This is just freehand. This is a nice piece. So we can have 2 squares with that fabric. So you place the first piece anywhere on the fabric.
You're cutting it asymmetrically on purpose,
Yeah.
to be able to get a nice balance of fabrics around it, right?
And then when you add the next fabric, just normally like you might use a lot of pieces, so it's more interesting if it's not like a triangle or a square. You just cut it like in different ways. And then you place this one somewhere over the first one, like that, or it could be this way, could be any way. I think I do it that way, and then we see what happens. And then you sew this down, and it can be like 1/2 centimeter. It makes no difference. Actually, it can be whatever you like.
So you sew 1/2 centimeter in.
Yeah.
But there are no rules here. That's the thing about our crazy quilts. We just do them randomly and the way we feel fit when we start balancing the fabrics together.
So this fabric is quite thick. This is thinner, but it's fine. It makes no difference.
So
You can
yeah.
steam it down maybe, and I can
Yeah.
look for something different to put on.
So while Arne is looking for something, I'm gonna just steam the seam down. So right now the seam is closed, and we want to open it because we want to give it a little bit of whatever. And because
Easier to work with.
yeah, it's easier to work with, yeah, and it flattens it a little bit. And because we are working with this fabric here, this kind of Lurex and wool, I'm not really sure what's going to happen if I put the iron directly on it. So I'm just going to use a little kitchen towel on top.
I think I have to add blue to this one
So I'll just
because there's no white. And pearls are popping all over the place. I add some blue. Let's do blue and pink. This will be for a kid's bedroom. Oh, this is silk. I think this has to be ironed,
yep.
but it's silk.
Yes, I know. It's all going to be done carefully to get that seam down flat.
Yes. And then we can add that blue. And I will put this pink lace on top of the blue, a piece of the lace. And I put the right side up because there's a back and a front on this fabric. Because you don't want to put the lace directly on the background because that's normally not nice because you probably use some leftover stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we put another fabric under. So let me have it.
Yep, there we go. It's nice and flat.
Yeah. So then you put the lace over with the right side up.
Which with that very thin
that's
lace
right,
can
so-
be quite difficult to figure out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then I cut this out.
So Arne, if my memory serves me right, and I
Mhm.
think it does, that lace that you are cutting now was from a dress that we made.
I
A
think
wedding dress
Yeah,
for
this
a
is a
friend of
wedding
ours,
dress,
a journalist friend that got married. And she wanted this baby doll dress, which was very short and with the lace.
and very
A very 60s inspired dress. And this was about 12 years ago that she got married. And it's nice that we've been saving up all those fabrics as well. So yeah, there's a
Save
lot of memories and
everything.
souvenirs here.
So, but if you look at this now, you have this angle. So then I just put these 2 layers, like over there, and then I will stop the seam when I come to that corner, and then I can fold this in, and I can stitch it down by hand on that side. So let me see.
So there's a great mixture here of sewing machine and hand seam, of course.
Yeah, you have to have to think, because if you do something with the fabric, like, let me show you. There's one here, like this fabric. It can be hard to put this in the sewing machine.
Yeah.
So for this,
definitely.
So yeah, for this one we just cut out the piece we use. Actually, I think we don't cut it because it's so nice.
It's so
but
nice.
if we cut it, we cut out a piece, and then a lot of these will pop off. But then we keep them in this. What you call this?
Oh, the little tubes that
tubes.
I do a lot of cooking with vanilla, fresh vanilla, and Arne gets the tubes.
And in Norway you get vanilla in tubes, and I keep all the tubes because then I can collect pearls and sequins in this. It's very practical. But sometimes they break, and then you have pearls all over. But then if you use a fabric like this, you rather take it down just like this, fold it, and you stitch it on the fabric by hand.
Yeah, carefully stitch it, yeah.
And then you can take away what you don't need, because you can use this in another place, or just fold it over. But for this one, it's just to sew it.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I mean, we were reading comments on the video that we did, the first one where we showed our patchwork. And a lot of people were saying that they would never dare to work with beautiful fabrics like these because they were so delicate. They would be terrified to cut them. And all we have to say about that is go grab a pair of scissors and go cut the fabric. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if it's cut wrong. You know, you're doing a patchwork, you can cut it a little bit more, you can, do whatever you want, but you have to get away from that fear and just do these things.
And if you
get
think
it done with.
If you think it's too nice, then you just keep it in an album or like in the scrapbook.
Exactly.
Or frame it.
There's no reason why you need to cut it, but if you want to cut it, don't be afraid, just do it. That's the only advice we can give you, just do it.
So now I sew this one onto the fabric, and then I just fold this in to get the line to cover up the angle, like on this side. Let me see how much I can use.
Yeah, very clever.
And if I can't cover everything, I put some embroidery on top.
Yeah. So
Or a ribbon.
when in doubt, add some embroidery on top.
I think I need to have some needles there.
And you can actually cover up a lot of ugly things with embroidery.
You can get away with anything. Where is my needles now?
In your needle case, I suppose.
In the mess. It's in this one.
Yeah, we had a dress once. We made a lace dress. This is way back in our career, and we lent it out for an event. And unfortunately, the person managed to spill some brown sauce on the dress. She was very sorry about it, but for Arne, it was just an opportunity to embroider something on top of the stain. So,
And it looked really nice.
in the end of the day, yeah, it looked pretty nice when you were done with it.
So now I should actually change to blue, but I'm not doing it. I just use the white thread. I have to cover this one more, because I guess I will cover this up later anyway, so I just use...
So do you want me to give it a quick...
not this yet. So... This one is just on the edge. This will be very pink and very blue.
Very nice, Arne.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And actually, I don't know what I'm doing right now, because I don't know how it will look in the end.
Yeah, but it's exactly the same way
But
we did all of these other. Very random, very, whatever happens, happens.
Oh, a little piece, maybe I can use it somewhere else.
And I think that's the charm of these things, you know, when you do them in a random way, you get them to be, you know, maybe it's all about you and, you know, the things you like and the things that you've saved have been fabrics that you bought because you really liked.
So what do I put now? Next color. This one.
Or how about this one?
Or that one. But this one needs also something under.
Does it?
I don't like the cotton under. Or I'll do maybe something. No, this is for another project. Sorry. I need something more
Let's look.
inspiration. This works.
Yeah, that definitely works.
Oh, you can iron this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you make one, you can do just like in certain colors, or you can do a mix of any color and any fabric, and then it doesn't matter like what color you put together because there's so many colors anyway, so it will work in the end. This is a nice ribbon. This can go over.
That's very nice, yeah.
Just to hide something.
There you go.
Yes.
And remember, we've got all these lovely little things as well, Arne. Look at all this.
Yeah, those are very nice. I think I put it just over, like over there, and see what happens. So I think we're probably making a new UFO now.
Yeah. But it's really great to get to show these ideas, these techniques, and inspire people. I'm sure everybody, especially sewers, have a lot of leftovers lying around that they love to use.
And if not, you can buy these small pieces of fabric that you get in the stores.
In the craft stores, yeah.
Stores.
A lot of designers or a lot of these fabrics come in little bundles. But I like the idea of a leftover. You know, you've had a few projects. Maybe you made a blouse, you made a dress, a skirt. You've got all that leftover fabric that you want to do something with because you don't want to throw it away. I think that's nicer than going out and getting a set of fabrics that have already been chosen for you.
Yeah, and you can go to like flea markets and you can find old clothes.
Yeah.
Not too old because those you should keep, but like if they're like not so nice but the fabric is good and you can use the fabric, then you can use everything you find in flea markets and thrift stores. And have you used that one we used?
Yeah, that's the wedding dress.
Let me see.
But look here, we've got all these little. Look at this one here.
Yeah, but that's like more on top. I think.
I think I saw one under the blue.
Maybe this one.
Yeah, but under the blue here, we've got the fun one as well. Maybe not.
No, that's maybe
too dark.
too much.
And we've got this
I think
one.
I put this one over there. That's a nice one.
That's a very nice one. But for that one, you would really, yeah, exactly. You would need to
Have to use the rose.
Yeah, you need to use the main part, and then you can cut it so that you can reuse the other parts later in another one. That way, you keep the continuity from one patch to the other by using kind of the same fabrics, but with different cuts.
But you see, sometimes some fabrics are almost too nice to cut, but well, let's do it. We only live once.
Yes, we only live once. And I mean, it's already looking kind of nice, so I think that this is a keeper.
I think we add some green. It was like blue and pink, but now it's also a little piece of green there.
And you see Arne is just cutting it. I mean, no fear, no nothing, just
Nothing.
go for it.
The scissor isn't that good, but... And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going into the seams. So if someone think it's horrible that it's not like perfect,
It's going to disappear
It's
in the seams.
not a problem.
And then, of course, you could always consider some raw edges that can be really nice as well, if it's done on purpose. So
That's nice. That's a nice fabric with this sequence stuff.
very nice.
That's nice. So let's put it somewhere. It's a nice, it has to be like more hair, I think, so you can see it. And we have to cover up some of this on that side. Let's see what happens. But that's kind of also like the fun with doing things like this, because you don't need to have a plan, and you don't have to be too organized.
Oh, that's the whole point.
Because that's like
It's asymmetric.
part of the fun is to see how it comes out. And voila. That's like almost at the end of the fabric. You can. It's actually quite nice. I think we had
it's
to add
nice.
a little bit more green to like.
And then, of course,
Make
if
it
you
greener.
do all your squares with the same fabrics but in different ways, or you use you use many of the same and then start introducing new ones, you get each square with a little variation, and then when you put them all together, you have a whole a red thread that goes through everything. That is really kind of like, it looks like it was meant to be that way, which is really cool.
There's some of these fabrics. They are like diamonds, like this one. I think we have to put this in the scrapbook because it's too nice to cut with this one.
There you go. This is looking gorgeous.
So let's see. Maybe this works. Then we have like gold and gold and gold. I think I put that one over there. So let me see, I have to cut away this. That's also nice because when you sew like this, you get these things that's popping out, and then you have like a new random square
For another
or
one.
piece to put on the next one. And that's nice because then you're like, it gives you more freedom in a way because you're not so stuck with the shape that you're working with. I think this works. If you put it like there. This is a very nice fabric. It's like folded.
Yeah, there's two fabrics on it. Actually, it's
Two
one. It's a
fabric?
folded
Yeah, it's
fabric,
folded
and then there's
on-
one
on top of
So it's
another
not
one.
very unlike what we're doing now,
Ah, nice.
and it fits perfectly there.
You put it in the corner.
Size-wise, it's pretty. It's perfect to cover up a big chunk of that corner.
I think we need, or maybe it's better on this side. I think I put it on this side. See, no plan.
No plan. The way it's supposed to be.
And then I need to have like a little piece that I can fold in later because this piece will be folded over. So I start like on this side and just go over. So this was the plan was to do something like pink and bluish, and now suddenly we have green and gold. That was not the plan.
But it's the plan now.
So if this ever get finished, it will be like a multicolor pattern thing. So you fold this one in like that. Maybe you need to iron a little
Yeah, I'll
bit.
do it.
Iron that one in flat. And then I can, what more can we put on that one? Add more color. Oh, maybe not. Or maybe, yes. Ah, green. This is washable striped silk. I think a piece of green will be good on that one. And then when you finish your piece, and if you have like some places that is a little bit open, or if you had to put a seam somewhere that doesn't look nice, you just put on embroidery, or you put on ribbons, or you can cut lace also, and place lace on top. That's very nice.
So you just got a few spaces to fill now, or to do before the entire square is full.
Yeah, I think I stitched this down.
Yeah, I would do that too.
And I use white. I don't change anything. Like,
no, there's no point. I mean, it's a colorful patchwork with a lot of different colors. So white yarn or white needle, or sorry, white thread is good enough.
yeah, and it's really helpful to be two when you do this, because
Yeah.
you can. One can do like Carlos now. He's ironing and shaping and stuff. Then
Yeah.
I can think.
Well, it's the
The
only way
next
to do this
move.
tutorial, really. I mean, you need a person that can do all the finishing. Otherwise, it's not going to work out.
So then we cut up this, and we have another piece we can use on
For another square.
another square. And you know, these small pieces, you can't throw them away because they're precious. So I was thinking maybe this one, because it balanced, like you have those greenish, and then you can put some green on top.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So we put this one over like
Let me just give it a quick. You said this was a machine washable silk?
I said,
Okay.
but be careful, maybe.
No, I'm not going to iron it directly, but I'm just going to get it a little wet then. If it's machine washable, it can get wet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that with regular silk.
This is actually very nice, but this needs something white or something under, so I can go for the kitchen fabric.
And that is the
That
tablecloth that was purchased in a thrift store for $1.
So
I
don't
suppose.
cry when I cut it,
Because it's not-
It's
it's-
kind of.
It's something nobody wanted. It ended up in a thrift store, super cheap.
But the motive is very nice.
Yeah,
so
we'll save that for design or something.
This can be used on something different.
And now it's been repurposed and made into something that is going to be worth definitely more than $1.
And
There you
this
go.
is machine made, so if you look in different thrift stores, you can probably find something similar or exactly the same.
So yeah, thrift stores is a good tip if you want to get really cheap fabrics. So just get old tablecloths, or just look in your own cupboard. I mean, a lot of people have all this stuff that they inherit from, you know, their ancestors, and that they don't use, and maybe they don't even like them in the way they are. And then you can just give them new life by repurposing them.
This is a very glamorous piece of fabric.
Yeah, it's coming out
It's
really
shiny and gold and cute. Ta-da! And you can take that down.
nice. Wow, this is
I have to put some like a small piece on top to cover up
coffee stain.
the coffee.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe
No,
a little. No.
Well, you can also do that later when you sew it together. You
Yeah.
can, if you have, I can show you later when Carlos is finished. Because if you have an opening, you can fix it when you sew them together, so they can actually overlap. Is that the right word?
Yeah, overlap.
I like cotton because you can tear it.
Yeah, I love the sound of that.
It's so good. You know what we're doing this afternoon? We're going to continue doing this because
This is so much fun. But in the afternoon, I want to change. I want to sit there and do the sewing, and then
I
you'll
can do the ironing.
You'll do the ironing. Although I have to say, I do like things like weaving in threads and ironing. So I guess I'm your perfect assistant.
I like it.
It's very nice.
And it comes by itself. It's like so simple.
And then, of course, if you're looking for a little of covering up a little surface in that square, you could always use a little bit more of that green in another area
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
Or you can keep it for
For
another.
another, yeah, but you've got two little bits coming out there. You've got a little triangle as well. That one.
And we haven't been sewing for a long, long time. So that's why we have these bad scissors. Because we don't do that much sewing anymore. But now probably we will go back to sewing again after this. So, but this is also, no, this is too much.
It's never too much.
This is from a piece from a dress.
I'm
we
seeing
made.
a little piece there in blue and white. Yeah.
That works. Ah,
I mean,
where did
just
that
a
come
thought.
from?
Well, I don't know where
That's
it came
nice.
from. But
Oh, but this edge is, oh, this edge is even nicer. Look. That's so nice. Let's put it like over there.
that's perfect. And this one, the holes aren't so big, so you don't actually have to cover it up with another fabric below,
I'm
in
not
my
sure.
opinion.
Because you see this.
Oh, okay. You're very picky with that.
I find it really hard not to cover up that one. I can just use a piece of this and put under.
Okay, you're the boss. I'm just the assistant.
So this is how we work. Iron. But it's nice to keep that beautiful hem like this. You can actually go like that, cover up. But this, I think, I will make this
Hand.
seam by hand.
Yeah. That is definitely a hand.
So if I put that one.
Or you could do it in a way so that you just go over above the scalloped edge, and then the scalloped edge could just be.
No, this
Loose.
edge, this should be like over like that. But
Yeah.
since this is a raw edge, I will.
Yeah, you will
sew
make a
it.
seam straight, and you do it above the scalloped edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the scalloped edge, you can either stitch it down or you can keep it just as it is, loose.
But I like to work with this kind of quilting because you actually you spend some time thinking, and you shouldn't have too much plans. You can collect like fabric in a certain color range or something, but part of the fun is actually to find places to put the different fabrics. So, but I think I do like you say.
And
I
also-
just take one seam straight
Yeah.
over.
And also part of the fun is just finding the fabric. You know, you're sitting on a table, just grab all the fabric. Don't even think about what you're going to do with it. Put it on the table and then let the fabric start guiding you.
And you can use a lot of time in the flea markets and in the thrift stores, and you can clean your attic.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, when you're calling the quilt a crazy quilt, you might as well go crazy. I mean, what's the point in being all
Too kind.
organized and, you know, making a plan in advance? Just let it go and just take whatever you find and use it in a fun way.
And I don't think you can do anything wrong.
Oh, there's no wrong here.
It's like you decide. So let's go like around and attach the cotton.
And I don't see any problem, Arne, letting the scalloped edge just stay loose like that, in my opinion.
I think it should be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. This one came under
yeah.
loose, so this one we have to do
Yeah, that
something
one you
by
do need to
hand
stitch a
later.
little bit.
Then we cut off what's popping out. Where did that come from? It's nice with the coffee.
So I'm very excited to see.
How it looks on the other side. Ta-da!
Ta-da. So just a few more to go before it's all full.
Yeah, we need something like on that corner, and we have to place something over this corner. We can give it a
I'll give it a little...
little. So what do we do next? Right now I feel like we need to have a new fabric for every corner we put on. We don't have to do it, but... Did we use this one?
I like that one. I think that's a really beautiful color, and I like the pattern on that lace.
Yeah, and I had this silver, this gold.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Very nice. I love it.
So it's nice to see the fabrics like this.
And the fun thing is that this is just the beginning. Then we have to continue layering things on top.
Yeah, I think we just put this over like that. A little bit more gold on that side. This is also from a dress, I think.
I don't think we ever made that particular color.
No, maybe it's just a sample we got.
Yeah, it's a sample.
Because we made a collection of dresses once. It was a very good idea, we thought. And we did one. And then we stopped. Let me see. There will be a lot of things to clean up later.
But that's later.
That's later. So let me put this one. I think we should just cover up over there. If you have like some old fabric you use, you have also like a lot of memories you can put in your blanket. That's also nice in your patchwork. So you can put things from old clothes that has special memories and use your wedding dress. Or maybe not, maybe people don't use the wedding dress.
Oh, I think they do. I mean, they could.
They could, if there's a lot of nice stuff.
You know, a lot of people make their wedding dresses. So they'll have leftover fabric from that. So that you don't necessarily have to cut up your old wedding dress, but look for the fabric cutouts that you kept.
This one we take away. Yeah, we can steam this down and then...
Yeah.
I think there's like one corner, 2 corners left.
2 corners left.
Really, I think it works. It works. I just have to convince myself because...
Of course it works.
Of course.
And the good thing about doing it in these colors is that the viewers can actually see what is going on, as opposed to the one that is white on white on white, which is a little bit more difficult to see.
I think I use this simple cotton. This is like a very easy cotton fabric in one of the corners. Even if I used that before. And we cut away what we don't need. Ta-da! So I think this can be nice in the corner. Use this again. That's fine.
It's a nice fabric.
Yeah, it's nice.
Looks Japanese.
It's not.
But it looks like a
Maybe the inspiration.
Japanese design, yeah.
Mhm. But I think like when you cover up a corner like this, you don't have to use the most decorated fabric, like with sequins and pearls and stuff. Because you're also going to sew this together later, so you should try to keep the most decorated fabrics more like in the
You mean like
center.
embellished fabrics?
Embellished, is that the word? Because when you sew the pieces together, you don't want to have like a lot of pearls and sequins going together on top of each other, because that is even more difficult to sew it together. I think I'd just do a pink in the last corner as well.
Yeah, get it done with.
It seems like it's the thing to do, I think. Let's cut it off and then use this on the corner, the other corner. If it covers up the corner, and it does, so we put
It's just about.
well, this goes in the seam allowance
Yeah.
when you sew it together, so it's
So when
fine.
you sew, Arne, when you sew these squares, how much seam allowance? Do you do a centimeter?
Normally,
half a centimeter?
Normally we do like a centimeter.
Yeah. So a centimeter half allowance will get away.
Yeah.
We'll get away with that little.
If it's a lot of thick fabric and you have like half a centimeter, it can be too hard.
Yeah.
It can be like it stands up, so it gets more bulky. in
And
the
also, you
seam.
need a little bit more allowance so you can open up those
Yeah,
seams
you need
with the
something.
iron.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say.
Yeah.
Because if it's too short, it's standing like this, and you can't get it down, and that's not. Well, it worked.
Yeah, perfect. So it's done.
So that's like part one.
Part 1. And part 2,
You can put more on
Yeah.
top.
I suppose part 2, Arne, is something we can get back to.
Yeah.
So that we say that today's episode is about doing the
How to sew these pieces
how
together.
to sew the original pieces together to begin your quasi quilt, and then because we want to show people how to do that one over there, we will be doing the second part, which is going to be adding the layers in a new tutorial coming very soon.
Yeah, because then we can show you how to stitch down those heavy fabrics if you have like these fabrics with a lot of sequins and stuff,
Yeah,
because those you have to do by
and then you
hand.
can add little, ribbons like
things.
this, and little
So
things
I
like
cut
that.
this off, and then we can do the next one, because I think we need to do more.
No, we have to do a new one. Just put all the fabrics you used and you cut out in a separate pile, and then give me the sewing machine, and I'm gonna.
And you do
Make
the
you one.
next one. Ta-da!
There you have it.
This will be a nice quilt in the end.
Yes, a crazy quilt done by us, mainly by you. I'm
And you?
assisting you. And then we're gonna add the little things on top in a new tutorial.
Yeah.
So it's been fun doing this. I've actually enjoyed being your assistant, and I've enjoyed having to stand up here for the whole time.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Yes.
I am very happy that I could assist you, and that is looking really, really lovely. So
Do you have one more of those?
yes, I've got another. Yeah, I have another one, but now I have to re-iron it because it
Okay.
needs to look really good.
Because now
So-
I'm doing another one.
Yeah. So no. I'm doing the other one.
Okay.
So.
So you're doing another
Move
one.
over and let me sit down. And all we need to do before we start fighting on who gets to sit on the chair is say to you guys that we really appreciate you watching our YouTube channel. If you like what you see, please give it a big thumbs up. And remember that we post new episodes every Sunday. So there's always something new for you to learn from us. And please, if you're not subscribing, we would really appreciate a subscribe. So Arne, with that said, move over because I'm going to be going into the driver's seat
I do
now.
the ironing.
And thank you so much for watching, and see you again
Soon.
next time.
Next time.
Okay, Arne,
Oh, okay.
let's find a new fabric. And here we go. Bye.
Bye.